Right, good afternoon. You remember yesterday I did a left-handed Telecaster and I put a new pickup in there, a Seymour Duncan Little 59, and I mentioned in the video that the guitar, even though the owner didn't ask for a setup, he says he didn't think it needed one. I recommended that he did get a setup, and he's seen the video and he's got back in touch with me. He says, okay, do a setup on that. So I'm doing one. So I'm going to show, basically this is going to be an additional video. I'm not going to add it onto the last part of the other one, I'm going to make it a separate video. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a setup. The first thing I'm going to do is, obviously I'm going to set the intonation and all that gubbins. And, but also I wanted to highlight, I said to the owner I'll do a video and I want to highlight the condition of the frets. Not that they're in a bad condition, it's just that we're getting a little bit of wear here and there. And they're very, very weedy frets. They're about probably just a bit over 2 mil wide. I've got a... I mean, maybe I'm biased because I only really have jumbo frets on my guitars, so I'm going to... So they look really, really weedy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around, I'm going to measure them on the calipers, see where we are. But I'm just going to put the camera on the guitar rather than on me. So there's the guitar. You've seen it, you know what it looks like. And we're there. And I'm just going to measure the width of these frets. That's saying 2 mil. 2.1 that's saying. Yeah, 2.15. So I'll be saying 2.1 there. Don't know if you can see that. So 2.1. Not too bad really. They just look weeder to me because I obviously use jumbo frets. Now what I'm going to do is, whiz that off. I'm going to do the setup. What I'm going to do is, like I always do, I'm going to do the setup with the old strings on. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the intonation. Now I know for a fact 2 of the strings are out. They're out by quite a way as well. They're out by about 2 cents on the tuner there. So I'm just going to check the intonation while I've got the guitar here on the bench. I'm going to turn the tuner on and we're going to make sure we're in tune first. Being it's a left-handed guitar, so it's a bit topsy-turvy, so I'm kind of doing this backwards. Not really makes any difference. Now the owner, right, that's in tune. Now the owner didn't have any strings, but I always buy in bulk Roto Yellows 1046s. I buy these, 2 reasons. One, they're British. That's not the only reason or the main reason I buy them. I buy these, yeah, one partly because they're British, but with Roto Sound you always get a free extra top E string. So if you snap one, they're good strings, they're British, I've used them for years. I've always loved the sound of them, I think they last long enough. You know, so I use these. So I told him I've got these in stock. He says bang some of them on. So I'm going to charge him at cost these. I get 3 sets for 12 quid, so I'm charging him 4 quid for a string. So I'm going to bang some of them on. Now the intonation, we're done. I'm not the intonation, sorry, the tuning. So I'm going to take the intonation at the 12. That's fine. Fine. These are a little bit sharp, so I'm going to alter slightly there. Don't forget, these are in pairs. So what we do is we have to do a next bit, we have to do basically an average. So I might leave that D. A little bit sharp. G's bang on. Means we can go just that way a tad. And I know the A and the E. Here's the A. A's flat. E's flat. So we're going to alter the intonation on there. We're going to check the radius. I imagine this will be a 9.5 inch radius fretboard. I also found out about this guitar. I didn't put it on the video, but it's a Japanese 72 custom, 72 classic. Could be a 7 1/4. Let's have a little look. Yeah, oh, we're a good old-fashioned 7 1/4 inch radius on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to radius up this end here. I bet that's not, that's quite a bit out. Yeah, that's a bit out. These strings all in the middle are all low. So I'm going to re-radius here, I'm going to set the intonation, I'm going to get a level checking bar on the neck here. Because that's more or less dead straight. I would like a little bit of relief in there. And what we're going to do is on this set also we're going to polish the frets. And what I'm going to do is when I've got the strings off, which I'm going to do in a minute after I've done the radius, is we're going to have a close look at these frets. Because there's a little bit of wear in there, but there's not a lot. But I'm wondering, they're not very high at all. And I'll be a bit worried or a bit dubious about levelling these frets or taking a little bit off top. I might be able to do it. It's not anything we're going to need to do. What we're going to do is when I've got strings off, we're going to have a look at these frets and we're going to give them a polish and see how they look. Basically just so the owner can see. So that's going to be it for now. So I'm going to stop the video and I'll come back shortly. Right, back with Telecaster. I've reset the intonation. And it's all bang on. Take a word for it. So that's all done, very, very close, as close as we can get it on here. E's a little bit sharp according to this. The A's bang on. E's sharp anyway, so let's get it right. I've already checked this off camera and it was bang on. Probably 1 cent sharp on the E, the rest of them's all fine. We have to do an educated guess between 2 notes on these thing, and I thought I'd let the E be slightly out rather than the A. Can always adjust it one way or the other if we need to. Right, set the pickup height. I've been on with the radius gauge. I've set the radius down here. We've got the radius bang on now. All the strings are falling onto the radius gauge here, absolutely brilliant. We set the action at 1.7 on the low E above the fret and 1.5 on the high E above the fret. So radius done, intonation done, tuning done. I've got a little tweak on the truss rod with this truss rod Allen key here. Just loosened it off just a little bit, just to give a tiny bit of relief around this sort of area here. Stops any fretboards. What I'm going to do now is, now that's all done, all I've got to do now is I'm going to remove the strings, I'm going to replace the strings with some rotos, put new strings on, we're going to stretch them, give it guitar a clean while we're around here, wipe the pickups over and that. Get the new strings on, we're going to check, I think the height of these strings above the frets is fine. What we're going to do is, once we've got these strings off, we're going to come back and we're going to inspect these frets, and we're going to bring the camera in closer, we're going to bring it lower down. So the camera's going to start round about here, this area, and we're going to bring it low down. I'm going to have a look at these frets on the camera and see where we are. We're going to give them a polish as well. So that's it for now. I'll come back shortly with another update. Right, again, we're back with this Telecaster. We've taken off the strings. I've not checked the neck level. The lower neck, we should be more or less bang on now because I put the relief from it. Oh, that's exactly straight, that neck now, which is great because I've not checked. See how level the frets are. And imagine these being such small. Oh, there's one there. Hear that? For those that don't know, this is a fret rocking tool. It's got 4 different size edges, and what we do is we check 3 frets at a time. And if we're straight, we don't get any rock. If we've got one high, like there, because we're doing 3, if we've got a rock there, means we've got a high fret. That fret's high, number 4. 5's okay, 6 is okay. Change around. 7, 8, 9's high, 10's okay, 11's slightly high, 12's okay, 13's okay, that's 13, sorry, 13, 14, yeah, 14's rocking a tiny bit, 15's okay, 16 is rocking, 17's okay, 18's okay, 19's okay, 20's okay. Is that 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12? Yeah. So we've got about 4 high frets here, nothing to worry about, really rocking a slight bit. I'd be more concerned about, we've got indentations on these frets here, where the strings have gone in to the fret. Now, like I say, we've got 3 or 4 frets high. I'm not really concerned about it right now because we've got the action high enough here, 1.5 and 1.7, for that not to be an issue. But if we wanted a lower action, it's going to start to become an issue once we've got high frets, because if we've got frets higher, we're going to be closer to the strings, and we don't really need that. Now, I'm going to have a look in here. I'm not going in on any area in particular, but what I'm saying is, can you see the indentations here? Hopefully the light's good enough. Just where the strings sit, 3, 4, 5, 6, we've just got little indentations going in. And if this starts to become a problem later on, if these indentations get deeper, strings are going to be sitting close to the fretboard, and then we're going to have high bits and low bits on the frets, and we're going to need to start looking at getting these leveled. Here again, if you run your finger across here, you can feel the bumps where every string sits. It's starting to be a little bit of wear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go across with a little bit of steel wool, just to try and highlight. You see how I've polished this fret up now? Now look at the difference between a polished fret and an unpolished fret, but look, I'm hoping you can now see the indentations here. Where are we? We're on this one. Not too close to focus. It's about as good as we're going to get. I'll do this in high resolution anyway, so you'll be able to see. But we've just got little indentations on this fret here, and on this one, and we're starting to get a little bit of wear on the frets. If it gets any worse, we'll be looking at trying to do a fret level. Just skim across the whole lot and just take these grooves out. We'll just take them down a little. Now if they go too low, we have no choice but to do a refret. And I always try and avoid a refret if possible, because it's expensive. It's an expensive way of doing things. Now don't get me wrong, I'm brilliant at refrets, are my favourite thing. But the start on an electric guitar, you're looking at 150 quid plus the price of a fret wire. So you're looking at 160, 165 quid. It's an expensive job. So where we can, when I install frets, I always install high frets, because then you can always have a fret level, which is 85 quid rather than 150 quid. It's a lot less. And you get higher frets installed, you've got a couple of fret levels. So you're going to get 15, 20 years out of a guitar. Even if you play heavy, you're going to get 9, 10 years out of it. So I'm not too concerned about it now. There are 2 or 3 high frets, which I'm gonna have a look at. Some indentations on this one. If I go across to this area down here, I can feel it more than you can see it. But if I come into the frets here, I can feel the indentations of all 6 strings on these frets. This one I know is a high one. I don't know why it is, but fret 4 always seems to be a high one on all guitars. What we're going to do is we're just going to a little polish on here. Now this is the finest grade of wire wool you can get. It's 0000, so it's not going to damage the guitar. If anything, it's not going to scratch anything, it's going to polish. But let me just show here. Fret number 4, I don't know if you can see it, but I can feel indentations in there, and especially this one here, number 3. Now I'm going to chuck in a free fret polish anyway. As you can see, I'm polishing a fret now. Not going to charge for this. I'm not even charging for a full basic setup. I'm taking, because it's had the pickup installed on. Now we've just got indentations. You can feel them with your finger there, and you can see them here. They're not terrible. Something we need to look at a few months down the line. Let's keep check on that. So that's it. So that's what I'm going to do with this guitar. Now, all I'm going to do now is, all it needs doing is zoom right out. All that we need to do on this guitar now is, I'm going to finish off polishing my frets. I've done these two, that one, I've done that one. I'll give it a proper polish in a minute. If any high ones, I'll just do a little skim, just take a little bit off the top there with a fret file, just get them all nice and level. I'll put some oil on there and we'll clear out all these slots, these nut slots here. So you're getting, basically, you're getting a full setup on here for a price of less than the price of a basic setup. I like to treat the new customers right, because then they're always going to come back later on. And obviously this is an introductory thing, you know, once you see how good my work is and that, we're not going to begrudge paying my prices, because my prices are still 15-20% less than my competitors, and I'm right up there in the Midlands. I'm not saying I'm the best, but you know, I'm up there with the best, I know that. You've only got to look at my reviews on Facebook. So what I'm going to, like I say, what I'm going to do with this now is, now I've got everything set up, everything done, I'm going to polish the frets. There's a couple I've got to level. I'm going to do a free level on them, free polish, get the strings on, get the strings stretched, and the setup's done, because I've already done the radius, I've already done the intonation, everything. We're going on same gauge strings, so makes my job easier once I get it done before I take strings off. New strings are going to go on, some rotos on there, and that'll be it. I'll come back when I've wrapped the setup up, got strings on, wrapped it up, and that'll be it for today for me. I'll get back to you soon. Right, I'm back in a bit more familiar position now. I've been across all the frets, I've polished the frets, bit of steel wool, finest grade steel wool there. Don't know if you can tell a big difference or see where the difference is on there. I'll just zoom in. They're all nice and silver now, all polished up really well. Beautiful. Take my word for it. And there you go, that's all that done. So all I'm waiting for now is to put the strings back on. I'm going to clean all around this area, around the bridge area, got all the dust out of there. It's probably not in the white for I don't know how long. Had the pickup covered when I was using the wire wool, because I don't want to get any filings onto the pickup, which we haven't. Cleaned all the area. We can now remove, this is low tack 3M Scotch 3M tape. It's really low tack stuff. It sticks just enough, but it's not going to cause any damage to the guitar. Recommended this by Nigel Roberts at leicestershire.co.uk, friend of mine. Again, the pickup, a good polish, a Fender pickup, so everything's gleaming silver now. I've wiped the guitar down, get it a bit of a clean, bit of polish on there. And something else I've done, I've just gone across, I dropped some oil into these slots, the string slots on the nuts, because they're really grimy, really dirty. I dropped some oil in there, and I've just cleared out all the crud with just a Stanley blade. I've not cut into the slots, I've not, you know, I've not deepened them or anything or widened them. All I've done is just got the crud out and get it a wipe over. So I've got a nice clean nut going in there. I'll check my nut slots to put the strings back in. If I need to widen anything up, I've got my nut files here. Japanese nut files. They're a really good piece of kit, razor sharp these are. And we've got 6 different widths here, all to fit each slot. So if I need to, I'll go across with that. So this is getting, really, it's getting the full works. This has really had more or less a full setup. For definitely not a full setup price. Just going to nip up and check the tuning screws. Another part of a full setup is this, you see. Just give me a little nip, 1/8 of a turn there, just make sure we're alright. They're all absolutely fine. So that's all I've done. So the guitar now is ready for having the strings put back on. I'm going to put strings back on. I'm not going to gas all over this, I'm going to chin wag all over this, because this video is long enough. It's up to 20 minutes now. So I'm going to put strings on, get it set up, and I'll come back to you with the final part of the video shortly. Right, that's me today. It's just coming up to, it's 20 to 7. It's dark outside now. I've just finished restringing Telecaster. I did say I was going to level them a couple of high frets. I forgot all about it. I haven't touched them, and I put the strings back on, so it's too late now. But they're only ever so slightly higher than ones that are high. They're 3 high frets, 4 if you count this one. They're a tiny bit. They're not going to affect anything. So to recap what's gone on here, we just put some, see in there, red, white and blue, some Rotor Sound 10s on there, 1046 set, get right way up. We got a full set up basically. So the radius done, so the intonation done, it's had the neck set, a little bit of relief put in there, it's had the nut checked, recut slightly, so the tuner's tightened. The other day I had a replacement little 59 Seymour Duncan pickup put in, which was a separate job. I've polished the pickup, polished all the frets, cleaned this area, the bridge area, and given the guitar a bit of a shine and a buff there. So basically, this has had a complete setup, which is you know, a little bit more expensive than normally, but you know, absolutely fine. First time customer, new guy, so hopefully he's all going to be pleased with this work. But that's it. It's a Japanese 72, is it 72 custom or 72 classic? He told me, and I've got it written down somewhere, but I don't know. So there you go, nice guitar. Sounds great with that humbucker in there now. Really, really nice. Looks great. Frets have been polished, like I say. It looks brilliant. Can't go wrong. So that's it. Setup complete. Job done. Don't work Sundays. I used to have Saturdays as my day off, but with being busy at church Sunday morning, I thought if I make Sunday my day off, I'm only losing half a day. Whereas if I take Saturday off, I'm losing a full day. So I've had a full day today. I've done 3 guitars today. You know, and really enjoyed it. Got a full day out of it, and I'm done now. I'm knocked off. It's getting on 7:15. That's me done till Monday. So till I see you next time. Be good to each other, and I'll see you soon.